name is Spiridula Kokarli. I am from Corfu, Greece. It's a small island in the northwest of Greece. And my job, I am a teacher like you, but I teach English. And I have my own school here in Greece. And I have about 160 students. And also for the last 4 years, I am also a deputy mayor, which is a step below the mayor. That's what it means. And I am responsible for the environment of Northern Corfu, for the public relations and the social services.
This is Jessica, an 8th grade student. I am so honored to ask you a question. Namaste from India. Can I ask, ma'am?
Of course you can.
Could you please explain about the waste management system in your country?
Okay, I heard that. Well, the waste management in Corfu is very different to the waste management in the rest of Greece. I'm responsible for that in my area. And what we do is we have 4 different bins. We have 200 places all over my place that have 4 different bins. We have a red bin for the plastic waste. We have a yellow bin for the paper waste, a blue bin for the aluminium, and a bell, which is used for the glass. And also we have composters, which are small bins that families can use them to recycle their organic waste. We have a yellow truck for the yellow bin that collects the paper only, a red truck for the red bin for the plastic. We have brown trucks for the brown bins and a white truck for the blue bin. All these trucks go around these 200 places every single day. And when the trucks are full, they travel about 40 kilometers away to a special place that they empty their recyclables there, and the recyclables then travel to Athens so that they can be reused or recycled, and so they can be put back again in the market. That's how it's done.
So what is the population of your region?
It's 10 million, but my place that I'm responsible for is 18,000 people only.
Wow. So that is less than one of our major villages. Yes.
Yes,
yeah.
But for us, it's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to the numbers we have in Greece,
Yes.
for us, it's very big.
Yes, absolutely. So
you can ask me a question.
What kind of education system is popular in Greece, private or public?
So most schools are public in Greece, and universities are public in Greece, which means that students go there without paying any money. But of course, there are many private schools. My school is private. For example, I own a private school, which means that the students' parents have to pay me money in order for them to come here. And there are also some universities that are public, that are private, but not many. Most of our schools, though, and universities are public and free to the students. Good evening, dear.
My name is Tanmay Srija, an 8th grader from Z.P.H.S Ilavaram. I would like to ask one question, ma'am. Can I ask, ma'am?
Yes, of course you can, love.
how your waste management system is different from other countries?
Other countries in Europe, you mean? My place is the first place that is using almost the same system with the rest of the countries in Europe. The only difference is that we use different colors in our bins. For example, England has different colors and Germany also and stuff. But we have the same idea and the same plan, let me put it this way, that says that every different kind of material should be put in a different bin. All plastics should go in one bin. All aluminium cans should be put in another bin. All cardboard and paper should be put in another bin. That's the main system. It's called sorting at source. This is the name of it. And it means that bins have to be very close to the houses and to the businesses, so that the business people and the people in general have access to them immediately, so they don't mix up these materials afterwards. This is very difficult for us because we have to pay a lot of money for different trucks to collect different bins, but it's working, and we have managed when we started in 2019, we had 0% recycling, but now we have 16% recycling, and this is a great number compared to 0, of course.
Yes, yes. Percent only is being recycled. What happens to the rest of the wastage?
Good.
Where
Good
does
question.
the other? Yeah, where does the other wastage go?
Very good question. Well, apart from the bins, we also collect other materials. For example, we collect clothes, because clothes can be recycled and clothes can be reused. So we don't throw them away. We collect. We have collected about 100 tons of clothing so far. And the ones that are in good condition, we give them back to our people for free. The ones that are not in good condition are used for recycling. We also collect batteries. We collect electrical appliances. And we collect all kinds of furniture, like sofas, chairs, tables, whatever. We fix them and we give them free back to the people. The rest of the waste, which is toilet paper, some kinds of plastic that cannot be recycled and stuff, unfortunately have to travel a long way to another part in Greece and be buried. That's the problem in Greece. We don't have factories we have one, but it's not enough for the whole of Greece. It can only support some towns. And we still have the old system that people used to bury their waste underground, which is of course very bad, but it's the only system that we have now in Greece.
Okay.
Are you producing any useful products from waste?
Very good question. Thank you very much. Well, two things. One is that we cannot produce any good things from waste yet, but what we do is that because we have some kind of upcycling, this is what it's called. For example, people might bring in some pieces of wood and we might turn them into a table or a chair. This is called upcycling. And of course, we give them back to the people. Or we have other people who are artists and take things from these 200 places that we collect our materials, and they produce pieces of art. For example, we have a lady who makes lamps. So she gets bottles and she turns them into beautiful lamps that she gives away for charity. For example, she collects some money for charity. Or we have other people who collect, again, pieces of wood, and they either turn them into furniture or they turn them into fences for their gardens. Or, you know, this is a process that some people are using it. As an organized municipality, we haven't been able to do that because it's not a very easy thing. We have to deal with many tons of waste. But apart from upcycling, we're doing this reusing model, that even though we don't produce anything from these items, we at least give them back free to other people who are in need. For example, I don't know if you've heard, but this summer we had terrible fires here in Corfu, and 3 families lost their homes in the fire. It was devastating. I almost lost my life during that process because I was involved in the fires. And we had to make them, we found them new houses to stay. And we actually gave them things that come to our places for free, like dishes, glasses for water, blankets, stuff like that. It was an amazing process. And also we saved money because of that, because waste management is very expensive in Greece, and especially for us that we have to take our waste to another country, it costs a lot of money. So the more we recycle, the less money we spend. And now we have managed to build 4 playgrounds for our children with the money we've saved from recycling.
That's really amazing. Is the plastic banned in Greece, and what kind of measures does the government of Greece take to prevent the use of plastic?
So I know about the problem you have in India, and because of the fact that you have a problem with the plastic, because you're so many. Oh, God bless. But yes, well, Greece is a member of the European Union, and there is a law that comes from Europe that it has banned single waste plastic from being sold. Single use plastic is plastic cups, plastic plates, straws, you know, the things that we used to drink our coffee or something like that. Anything that is only used for one time. Anything that is used for one time is totally banned now. And the only single-use plastic that is left, it's the bags, the plastic bags that we have in our supermarkets. But if you don't have your own bag with you and you need to get the bag from the supermarket, you need to pay money for that. So this is a kind of system that the government has applied in order to prevent us from getting plastic bags. And it has worked, actually, quite a lot. Instead of single-use plastic, we have things made out of paper, like we have paper cups, paper plates, or made of wood, like we have wooden forks or wooden knives. And this somehow has reduced the amount of plastic, but of course it hasn't solved the problem, because there are so many other things made of plastic again that this, you know, it has not been banned. But at least we have this, we have lowered the number of plastic in these cases.
Yes.
How are you?
Hello, love. I'm okay. How are you?
I'm fine, ma'am. This is Subramanya Srinivas, 8th grade student from Z.P.H.S Ilavaram. Now, I would like to ask a question. Can I ask, ma'am?
If you can.
Yes, ma'am. What kind of lessons do students have to create awareness about environmental issue?
Okay, my students, you mean, or students in Greece?
Yes, ma'am.
Students of Greece, I think is the
Students of Greece in general. Okay. There is a special subject which is called environment awareness. But the thing is that public schools only do it once a week, and it's not enough. And they're doing things inside the classroom, which is not enough, again, because people have to get out into the environment and see the problems and find and discuss with their teachers what can be done about that, or maybe invite scientists or people like us, for example, from the local authorities, to talk to them about it. So there is a subject about environment awareness, but in my opinion, because I'm a teacher as well, it's not done properly and it's not enough. I mean, if you ask students about what they know about the environmental problems in Corfu, for example, they might say a few things that might have heard, you know, like, okay, there's pollution or something like that. They might say things like that, but they don't actually know what the real problems are, and of course they don't know the solutions to these problems, which is, you know, it's two problems in one, actually.
Okay, thank you.
What is your current position other than teaching?
My current position other than teaching. That's what
Yes.
you said. My current. Okay. First of all, I would like to say that I love your hair. I love your ponytails. As I said in the beginning, I am part of the local authorities here. There's a pyramid. At the top of the pyramid, it's the mayor. The mayor is responsible for 38 villages in my area, and 38 villages for us means 18,000 people, but for you it would be a totally other number. But in my place we have the mayor, who is responsible for the 38 villages of 18,000 people, and I am just below the mayor. So if the mayor is not here, and in other words, the mayor is the top, it's the chief, is the one who controls everything, and I am below him to deal with things that have to do with the environment, the public relations, and the social services of these 38 villages.
Region, we say that the mayor is the first citizen of that particular city or yes, town. But I think that you are the second
yes,
citizen of your region. So here is my question. What kind of, in fact, in order to maintain the waste management successfully, I think the awareness among the people is also important. So what kind of civic sense do you create among the people of your region to maintain this waste management successfully?
I had to deal with many problems, and the mindset was my biggest problem. Changing the mindset of people was my biggest, and still is my biggest problem. First of all, I had to teach the people who work for me, starting from these people, that what we're doing is right and that we are obliged to do it. Because in the beginning, they didn't want to listen to me. They thought that I was crazy or something. And because they were used to some old systems, they thought that it would never work. So for 2 years, the first 2 years of my, for me being a deputy mayor, every single day, I would wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, get on the same track with them to make sure that that the red track would only pick up the red bin and nothing else. The yellow track would pick the yellow bin and nothing else. That they would visit all yellow bins or all red bins and not some of them. This took me 2 years for my colleagues to work with me and make them trust them. At the same time, I would go door to door to every house in those 38 villages and give them a leaflet to all the families to tell them what to put in every bin, because the people didn't know. So I had to tell them, like you teach your students, for example, red bins are used for plastic, yellow bins are used for paper, etc., etc. And I gave them door to door every single day for the first 2 years. After that, I had to make sure, and I still have to make sure, that everything is working right. Because if one person sees my red track picking up a yellow bin, this is it. This is the end of the whole process. So I have to make sure that everything is done correctly. Otherwise, what I've been doing for the last 4 years is going to collapse like a pack of cards. So because of that, because of the fact that I was very insistent, and because of the fact that the people around me saw that, and they could see the right track picking up the right bin, and the fact that we didn't let bins overflow and stuff like that, people started to trust us. And since we gained these people's trust, we can say now that the waste system is successful at about 70%. We still need work to be done. There still need work to be done because there are many people and businesses who do not go by the law, if I may say. For example, they still produce, they still waste, they still cause problems to the waste management and things like that. But we have managed, starting from zero, we have managed to change the mindset of the people around us. But first, we had to believe it ourselves, the mayor and me first, then the people who worked with me, and then the rest of the people around me.
So could you please tell us about the subjects that your students learn at public schools?
So I believe that public schools in Greece teach the same lessons that are taught everywhere in the world. I mean, we teach the Greek language, of course, history, geography, maths, art, religion, you know, the basic stuff, and languages. They teach English and German, but teachers, but they don't have many hours per week. So that's why I have a private school to teach foreign languages, because the government cannot support the foreign language demand. So they have given us the license to teach what the government cannot, you know, that's how it happens. But these are the main lessons that are taught in public schools.
Okay, thank you so much. And before we wind up this session, could you please give me a final message to my students?
Okay. Well, I believe that my main message is that waste management is actually a form of civilization, if I might say it, because no matter how many buildings a country has, or no matter how educated people in the country are, if they don't manage their waste properly, this is the worst thing they can do to their environment and to themselves. So I strongly believe that your students, especially, because obviously you are a very good teacher, because otherwise you wouldn't have invited other people, including me, to talk to your students about this. you are very aware of how big the problem is in your country and generally to the whole of the planet. All your students should also listen to this. Please try and help your country as you grow up with your waste management, because our environment is running out of sources and it's getting more and more polluted. So soon, if we don't change things in our everyday life and in waste management, there will be no environment for us to live. I mean, the planet will not be sustainable for us anymore. So it's very important, all of you, to do this.